Sooner Nation, welcome back. Sooner Surge softball edition, as we are going to cover the last of the athletes from last year that we were kind of doing a series on here, calling it kind of the Forgotten Four, even though they're not forgotten. It's just they didn't get a lot of run last year. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe. You see the button there. Click it. Don't wait. Okay. And we appreciate the comments that you guys have been bringing our way on the daily. Yeah, today we're talking about Quincee Lilio out of California, redshirted 2022, got a little bit of plate appearances last year, a little bit of field experience last year. Brings a lot, I think, to this team. And one thing is she's a utility player, which is several of the ones we've covered. Gasso really likes to have these athletes who can play multiple positions, and that was what we get with Quincee Lilio, guys.
Yeah, and as we've talked about with really just Patty Gasso and everything, she likes to have athletes and a lot of versatility, which is one thing that always stands out about this Oklahoma team. And her stats for her total career, as you guys said, well, actually, you guys haven't said yet, but she redshirted in 2022. So her 2023 stats were average of 275. She hit one home run and 40 at bats. She had 9 RBIs and she had 11 hits and only, as I said, 40 at bats. So it's not bad for only a limited opportunity. It really isn't. And as you said, just the versatility stands out. We've said so many times, Patty Gasso loves her athletes, loves the girls that can do so many different things.
Well, in Jackson, one thing you mentioned, you mentioned her average, which to her that's low because most through high school and through travel ball, I think she was in the 450s, 500s. Hits with the great average, she really does. But like you said, and I think that's probably going to be the toughest thing for some of the ones we've been talking about that won't be, may not play every day. Well, it's when you get your chance, you got to make the most of it. And I think that's hard as a hitter. I really do. To get in there, come in and you get one or two at bats, it's like you got to feel like you got to make the most of it to keep earning those at bats. But Lilio, man, she hits good average. She had the home run last year. Her fielding percentage, I mean, throughout her high school and travel ball career, extremely high. Another great defender. So just kind of on the same boat as the other ones. I think we're going to see more of her this year.
What about your thoughts, Braden?
Well, when she got when she was playing, she played pretty good. I mean, she played good defense. She really hit the ball too.
Hey, she did get some opportunities in big games. I know she pinch hit a couple of times. They brought her in kind of late in games, so she's definitely got the experience and a little bit of experience and a little taste of that'll hopefully compel them, and in a way that she's gonna be much more involved next year. But I don't know if you guys saw the story on the Sports Spectrum, the article about again, and look, we're not gonna be shy to talk about this as believers, but faith has played a huge role in Lilio's career there at OU as she was baptized last year. She committed her life to Christ, was not bashful about that, and talked about the joy there and playing on this team. Again, we are going to keep saying it because this is a staple in Patty Gasso's culture is the faith aspect, the family aspect. Look, she chose OU over Oregon. It was kind of in her back. That was more of in her backyard. She's not the only one. We've heard of several that have committed from over UCLA and other areas that was close to their hometown. You don't leave your hometown that far away unless you're really comfortable with what's there. And it just goes to show that she's so comfortable with this community, this culture, these athletes, these young ladies. And it's been great for Lilio, and she testified about how great it's been here.
Well, and you're at most places. Let's just be honest. You're not going to have that happen to a player where they get baptized, commit their life to Christ, and have the team mostly around you saying this is what it's all about. Okay, most people are about the winning and losing. Okay, OU, they don't know losing, guys. They only win. They only win. But you know what? When they do lose, occasionally, once every whatsoever, not very often, you know what? They can lose and they can still know that that's not what it's all about to them. They have faith in Jesus and they share that. And so I think that's pretty cool that story of her being baptized, like it, that's what it was about to a lot of these players. They're like, this is what it's all about. I mean, that's just cool to me.
Yep, and as you would see with this team, they would go out to the center circle, pray with all these other teams, no matter if they beat them by 20 runs or whether even they lost, they would still do it. I think that just speaks to the culture. And last year, even when there was so much pressure with this team on the 50 game winning streak, 50 plus game winning streak, there just really wasn't like you didn't hear a lot of negativity coming from the players saying we can't handle the pressure. We saw it in the Grace Lyons interview in the College World Series about the joy and the passion they get playing softball comes from the Lord. So you talk about just an elite culture by Patty Gasso, and really that truly is the word. But then you see it in so many of these Oklahoma and so many of these Oklahoma athletic programs, especially now recently in the football program under Brent Venables, just a faith-driven aspect. In the softball program and the basketball program, you see just these great cultures by these great, not only coaches, but just great humans. And that's what allows Oklahoma to be such a successful program.
I expect Lilio to get more than 40 at-bats next year, and I expect her to play multiple positions. I think she's going to be one that is maybe a fill-in role for, several different position players to give them a break, a breather. So I expect more time for her next year. Where it's going to be, I think that's up in the air. But like we said earlier, and with a lot of these, I think we're going to see several of these kind of get some opportunities next year.
Yeah. What would you, Braden?
What?
What do you think is a strength from Lilio? What's her biggest strength?
Her biggest strength?
Yeah, I mean, personally, I would say, we've talked about Avery Hodge and Hannah Core recently, and to me, I think Lilio, I think her batting is a little bit her average. I think she's a little bit farther along, maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't think like whereas the other two, Core and Hodge, I think they're just uber athletic and great fielders. I think Lilio may have an edge in the hitting. That's just my. I mean, I haven't seen enough to really to know. That's just me just saying that, really. But what about you, Braden? What are you thinking?
I'm like you. What you're saying is Avery Hodge and Hannah Core are more, they've played a lot of ball with each other.
Yeah, I mean, go ahead.
They're more, like you said, they're definitely, and I don't know if I want to say more athletic. They have the speed factor that is more as a weapon in their game. And they know that they probably got to get a little stronger in hitting, and they probably will. No probably about it. They're going to be stronger hitters next year. Lilia does seem, if you look at her past, like you said, the 275 average is actually a little bit low, maybe than what she's going to be capable of hitting, and I expect her to do much higher in that next year.
I can see her batting average going up this coming year.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Because she'll I bet you. I know this probably won't happen, but move Jennings to short and put Lilio at second.
And see,
I don't.
If you ask me, a strength she has, I think, is we've relayed this so many times, is versatility. Really, she can play multiple spots in the field. Obviously, Oklahoma's going to have to look to help probably with multiple players this year play that shortstop spot, which is to replace Grace Lyons, which she's played second some. So I'm sure that they'll work her some in at shortstop, see what she has. But I think that just the versatility really, and whether or not, like we've seen it, like Grace Lyons at points, even though she went through offensive slumps, she was still just an elite defensive player, and that kept her on the field.
Yeah, and I don't know that Lilio is going to have a certain position. I don't know that what you said is probably right. She's going to be worked in at several different areas. So, Jay, are you getting ready to say something?
No, I mean, I think we could have a whole video on the infield and what they're going to do next year. I mean, that's a whole nother topic. But we had the Avery Hodge video the other day. Me personally, I think Avery Hodge is a shortstop. That's just my opinion. You guys can bash if you don't think so. I mean, viewers, if you don't think so, I think she's going to win that position, and I think TRA is going to stay at second, and I think they're going to roll from there. But that's just me, and a lot of things can change. I'm not Patty Gasso. I don't claim to be. I definitely couldn't do what she does. So
and hey, listen, viewers, we thank you so much. the softball viewership with Sooner Surge, you guys have been, it's a community of fans. We have really enjoyed this last season, so much so that we keep doing softball videos because we keep wanting to geek out and talk about it because, one, they're so dominant, they're so fun to watch, but also because there are a lot of things that interesting aspects of this team moving into next year. But guys, you don't want to miss next week, okay? Something very, very special coming your way very soon on the Sooner Surge Softball Edition. You've got to stay tuned. You've got to subscribe, stay tuned, be honed in, just like these ladies are every game. Till next time, guys. Boomer.
Boom.